didn't like it. It's a personal thing. Even though they were getting fined for views,
Yeah.
I didn't like it. So anyways, yeah, how you doing?
Good. Yourself?
I'm doing well. Yeah, it's a beautiful day. It's actually, I feel like I'm squinting a little bit because it's so bright.
The way it's coming in.
But I don't want to complain about that. I love it.
Yeah.
So, and it was actually kind of cooler this morning. Did you notice that?
A little bit.
I don't want to say cool because we're talking about Florida.
We are talking about the rest of the country's like, I'm seeing frost already. We have frost warnings.
Yeah, no. But I mean, we're still in hurricane season. So I think about that because the big hurricanes we've gotten the last few years came in November and October,
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, we're in September. And I was talking to somebody yesterday and they're like, we're almost through hurricane season. I was like,
You sure about that?
Yeah. You might want to be quiet, please. I don't believe in jinxing, but seriously, like, just in case,
Yeah, let's not summon anything. Yeah. I mean, like, last year, it was like, there was one, and then there was like, like 3 weeks later, it was like, here's another.
Yeah. Yeah, and big ones, and it was like the same areas. It was right up the Gulf.
Yeah.
So I actually got a client that he's been looking over here quite a bit, but now he's thinking he wants to go Tampa, and I'm just like, did you forget what happened last year? Granted, it hadn't happened to Tampa like that in forever.
Yeah.
But I know we're a little bit off, and I don't know what it is, but this chair wants to slide this way. Like I don't keep scooting up.
Maybe the
the building's slowly
the building's
falling.
a little bit this way.
We got the Leaning Tower of Chase.
Leaning Tower of Chase? Chase Plaza, Leaning Tower of Chase. No, it is definitely a dad thing to be like, who's in charge of this? I need a wad of paper.
Well, the question is it the table or is it the flooring? And
it's the flooring.
I think so because I mean,
there's extra concrete here.
You probably can't see it, but there's cement flooring right here. But I'm just sliding off. I'm like talking to you, and I'm slowly sliding.
like
Homer
I don't know
Simpson.
how I got out of frame.
Homer Simpson
dissolving into the
bushes.
Yeah.
So I was like scooting up this way. I was like, I wonder if it'll stop if I go up this way.
Can we get some brakes on these chairs, please?
Anyways,
Tampa. You sure about that?
Yeah, and you know what? I don't want to. I shouldn't say anything because it was like the first time in a long time they've had really something. And the year before it was further south. Like they actually expected. I can never remember the name of the hurricanes. Which one's which? Do you remember?
No.
Like which one was the one 2 years ago? Like I don't know, but it seems like everything's Hurricane Katrina to me. But anyways, but that one 2 years ago was supposed to hit Tampa, and then it slowed down and went into the Fort Myers area and destroyed that area, if you remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every time a hurricane comes, it's like you always get the goofballs out in the sea, like surfing the crazy water.
It's great.
True Floridians.
Yeah. Once in a lifetime. Wait till next year. It'll be here again.
Well, that's what our pastor says. My pastor, he's always just like, if a hurricane rolls around, he's like, I don't know if you guys have seen it like this, that last hurricane that just went up the coast. It really didn't do any destruction or anything. Ike or whatever it was called, or I or whatever. The swells were really, really good, on the Pacific or on the Atlantic side. And so he said, man, I was there every morning, on the water. So, but he's like, yeah, a hurricane comes. If you guys don't see me on Sunday, I'm out there.
Out where?
Out there in the water.
Up there.
Yeah.
In a tree.
I mean, is it, if the water and everything is coming inland, is it really that bad to be out there?
You'll get back sooner or later. Stress trip. I didn't want to walk this whole way anyway.
But yeah, as far as pastors go, he's a true Floridian.
Yeah.
Always surfing and stuff. We actually had a baptism out there. And
baptism, like surfing
baptisms on the Atlantic. And so we had the whole church go out there. In fact, my son, he decided that he wanted to get baptized. And that happened to be the week that he got baptized. So we went out to the coast, I think we went to Satellite Beach, somewhere in Satellite Beach. But we finished with the baptisms, and there was probably about 15 or 20 people that got baptized. And we're heading back to the car or whatever. And Pastor Ross, he's just like, he's walking back and we're all chatting and stuff. I was like, so you heading back now? Or are you going to catch a few waves? He's like, dude, you know me. He's like, I'm catching a few waves. He goes into the bed of his truck and pulls out his surfboard.
He's like, I'm ready to go. Already ready.
So, yeah. He's like, I got to take advantage of these. And, you know, this is a guy that's almost 60, but, you know, he's like 6'4", 6'5". He's just tall, lanky, skinny guy, and just true Floridian, just, you know. But I love, like, he's so down to earth. And after that baptisms, I was like, yeah, I kind of expected that from you, you know. Mm-hmm. The other day I show up to church at Wednesday youth group, and he's we have a new addition kind of going on the church. Yeah. And it's just finishing up new. It's a new children's wing. And I go back there, and it was supposed to be done about 3 months ago, but like everything, it just, you know, takes forever. Yeah. But I go back there, and there's 2 people working, and my buddy Joey's showing me everything that's getting done. And sure enough, one of the guys back there was Pastor Ross. It was like 7:30 at night, and he's got his tool belt on. Yeah. That's the type of pastor you want. Mm-hmm. You know, he's getting his hands dirty. He's just He's just like, he preaches on, but he's just a regular guy. Yeah. You know? Mm-hmm. So anyways, it was like a proud moment. I was like, yeah, that's my pastor. There you go. That's my pastor. Getting his hands dirty. Yeah. You missed a spot, Ross. You know? I just wanted to know. You're doing the Lord's work, though. Yes. You know, the holy water pouring from your face.
The holy sweat.
Yeah. So anyways, that was kind of a lot of tangents. But, you know, that's what happens in our podcast.
It does.
So how's everything going for you? I mean, I know there's been a few deals that have...
It's good.
Yeah. What do you got over there?
Jay and Buddy. Maybe Buddy wants to be in the podcast.
For all you that don't know, Buddy's a dog.
Buddy is a super cute dog. Super good.
But we've had a few interesting deals going on. So, well, one really right now.
It's got some hair on it, as they would say.
Yeah, it's sometimes like it just you could think everything's going smooth, and then it's just going too smooth, and you know, there's just things. There's always just hiccups.
Well, and then the hardest part is, you know, and I think that just going with things that you can't control, right? Like we can't control what a third party does, you know. So right now we're waiting on a rapid rescore to come back to remove a dispute that popped up last second. It didn't get conditioned for, and so you can't control what a third party does. You're kind of stuck waiting, and that's the hardest part. Is the waiting is that they say it should be 1 to 2 days, and now we're on day 2.
So for all of you that don't know, what happens is as you're going through the loan process, we are brokers. We submit out to lenders. The lenders come back with certain conditions. Mm-hmm. We have our clients fulfill those conditions as they come up. Yeah. And as they're cleared, then we are getting clear to close. And all conditions cleared, we're clear to close. Mm-hmm. And there's always like 1 or 2 conditions that come up kind of at the end or whatever, last minute bank statement. It's just something. It just seems like it's always just something.
Right.
But in this case, what came up last minute was a dispute. And what happens with that is it just can't easily be solved. It has to be actually resolved.
Yeah. You can't pay it off at closing. A dispute basically saying like, hey, this is a collection. I'm disputing it. I shouldn't have to pay this. So what happened on this one is just basically it's been out there. They didn't condition for it. So we're like, all right, well, everything's good. And then pops up literally 2 days before closing, like, yeah, we need that cleared. We're like, wait, why? He's been disputing this since 2024, you know, maybe 23 even at the end of it. But like, I'm like, this has been out there. You know, how is you missed it? Oh no, we see it on our side. It's been out there for like 8.25, and so we're putting them on blast because we get with this lender in particular. Every time you clear conditions, you get an updated. Here's an updated approval. Mm-hmm. You know, here's what you need now, kind of thing. And it's been on none of them, so it's clearly a system issue on their side, which kind of sucks for them because they need to figure out why this happened. You know, I hope they do. Definitely something to watch out for in the future on anything too. Yeah. You know, I'll see what I can pick up on my end, but it's like, man, it just sucks because we could have conquered this at the beginning of the month, been done by now, but now this process takes about a week. It feels like everyone's like, it's because it's 1 to 7 days.
Right. So we're on Wednesday and we were supposed to close last Friday, and we were still figuring stuff out last Friday on what we had to do, but we did submit everything by the close of Friday. Yep. It's just that stuff takes time.
Yeah.
And it's, like I said, it's not something, it has to be a condition that's cleared. It can't be bumped to the top just to, be overridden because it's a Fannie and Freddie,
it's an FHA.
Yeah, Frank Dodd.
Yeah. They won't
deal,
move past it. If they can't sell, it's not something to move past. There's no contingency. That's the thing about like all these conventional FHA loans. You don't get wiggle room.
Yeah.
On a non-QM bank statement, there might be something that I could fandangle, like, hey, can we get an exception? Because really, everything's backed by an investor, right? There's people who buy these in the secondary market, your Fannie and Freddie, but for like non-QM side, they're backed by investors, who are buying these notes. So they might be able to get an exception through to be like, we're okay with a little bit of hairier.
So QM is qualifying mortgage or non-qualifying. And meaning they can be sold on the open market because it meets the standards of the Frank Dodd Act and Fannie and Freddie guidelines. Otherwise, it doesn't. So like technically, like a conventional doesn't have to meet the guidelines. It just can't be sold on the second market if it.
Right.
So it'll have to be a portfolio loan or something kept in-house.
Keep it on the books. Yeah, keep it on the books. Doesn't get sold, but they don't like doing that because it caps your ability to do more loans. Yeah.
Correct. If it's a good loan, though, they'll consider doing it, especially if they think that it'll get refied out or they'll have an opportunity to refi it out or something down the loan or down the road. Because I've had that a number of times where, like in the past, just being in real estate, where it was like one of those where they're like, well, you know what, we're probably only keeping this for a year and refining. So, they would just,
keep it on the books.
Yeah, keep it on the books.
They might keep it on the books again because there's something about that client that they like, the profile.
Yes. So this was a client that used them exclusively for a lot of stuff. And that might be something where they're doing favors or something. You do enough business with somebody, you got a massage.
Yeah.
So,
if you're going to make a difference in 2025, you got to dig deep and find the why.
When I look back at all the things that I have been able to overcome in life, they prepared me for this moment right now.
If we have the right attitude, what's really in the streets isn't money in cash form, it's opportunity. And that is everywhere.
How you doing? Let's get this energy level up.
So, but I got to tell you, this client on Friday, when he was supposed to close and all this came up a day or two before, he was not happy. And I think we all took a little bit of beating on the phone, which here's the deal. That's okay. Because I would have too. I would have been upset. And here the whole time he's thinking it's all good. He did have one condition that he was taking forever to clear, that I was seeing the emails. I know we were trying to get all that, and stuff. So he waited the last minute on that. Not a big deal, but we did get that cleared. But he's entitled to be upset. We got him to the point over the weekend where now he's kind of accepting. He's obviously annoyed that this happened. But he's okay. And then on our end, we're taking care of a few things. So we're taking care of the cost to move the mover's date, and went on just a few costs that came up because this came up.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, he's okay with everything,
It's hard, and he's right to be upset. Like it was something that was missed. It should have been handled, and then now we're having delays. Everything was run smooth, and he was, fairly prompt on getting everything in anyway. Yes, there was the statement issue, but like it was just hard to get right what we needed, but we got that cleared.
Yeah.
Got in what we needed, and that was fine. It just sucks.
Yeah. Just one of those situations where it's like, I'd love to tell you that everything goes smooth all the time and stuff, but this is part of real estate in general. Stuff comes up, and then you have got to figure out how to resolve it.
Right. Well, and there's things too that come up that our clients never see. There's times
a lot of stuff.
There's things that we're fixing already on the back end that they don't see the miracles we worked. The wizardry that goes into some of these files.
Yeah. Well, the last one we closed, we didn't have any hangups on the lending side, but the real estate side, there was so much that we had to handle behind the scenes that our client had no idea that, the amount of stress and issues we had, and so there are things, sometimes it's on the real estate end, sometimes it's on the lending side. There's stuff that just comes up. Sometimes it's on the title side. It's come up on the title side.
I've had title issues too.
Yeah. So so you guys need to be a little bit patient and forgiving to whoever you're working with in that regards. I'm not saying that they're not deserving of it or anything, but there is stuff that comes up.
Yeah.
So,
and my thing too is that basically the way we operate, we do a lot up front, get all the paperwork in, and then go through the process. So realistically, a lot of times if I'm coming to you with one or two things, I've already fixed 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need to talk to you about these 1 or 2.
Exactly.
But I fixed the other 6.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, that is how it goes, even in real estate. It's solve a bunch of them and then listen on this one, I got to talk to you.
I got to talk to you. So problem solution though. That's the goal is don't talk about a problem unless there's a solution. That's what I tell all the other LOs on the team. Don't, they come to me sometimes after they've told the client there's a problem, and then they come to me on how to solve it. And now I'm like, you've just stressed this person out for half a day. Yeah.
Yeah. I sometimes I've been in real estate a long time, and I solve things differently. And there's been a number of times where Jessica's come to me and be like, hey, can you talk to this client? I was like, well, what'd you tell him? And I was like, and then she tells me what, and I was like, well, I wouldn't have told him that. I wouldn't have, and there's, I was like, now I'm jumping into something that I don't agree with, and I don't want to talk to this client and then say, I disagree with you. Right. I disagree with my wife on this one, but she wants me to jump in, but I'm like, but if I jump in, I'm going to be saying I disagree with you because I don't agree with that. So there's that, there's a lot of ways to solve a problem.
Yes.
So,
yes, there certainly is.
Yeah. So, and I think talking it through before you talk to the client and trying to, resolve it, that's what you're getting paid for.
Go to the team first, whether that is title, real estate, go to the team first and try and fix it there, and then go to the client. But it's always problem solution, right? Like this.
Yep.
Here's what we're facing. Here's what we're doing to fix it.
Yep. Yeah. Or by the time you get to the client, it's like, here's the problem. Here's A. If we don't have A, here's B, C. You got a few options. Okay. We're working things out. If it doesn't, we're going to go down the list. So, So, stuff just comes up. But anyways, anything else?
I think that, it's fun that we kind of rolled into Q4 kind of thing, quarter 4, because we start to see, and I have to double check what it was, but they raised the conforming limit on conventional loans.
Oh, really?
Another 10 grand or so out of it.
What is that roughly?
So we were at 806,000.
I thought we were at 7 something.
Oh, you're behind. No, we're at 800,000. Okay. Well, it's important to know because when you go over $1 over, you're jumbo.
Right.
So, but when you're at the conforming limit, and you're going to see posts about this ton because people love to post about it because there's lenders who are like, we'll honor it already today because obviously it's more loans they can do. Right. Conforming loans are easier than jumbo. And they typically have a little bit better pricing. So it's great to be like, hey, by the way, I can get you this. We're probably a few years out from conforming limit being like $1 million, but still, when you look at the space you're in particular, it's important to know right where things are at. Because sometimes, because both sides, you might be able to talk to a client and say, hey, by the way, I see you only want to put this much down, but if I could put another 20 grand into this, we get to a conforming loan, and now you get better terms often on conforming loans versus jumbo. So it's kind of a nice thing.
And so keep that in mind, that it's not the cost of the house, it's the cost of the loan that you're taking out that matters in this case.
Yeah.
So you can buy $1 million house. If you're putting $200,000 down, you can still get a conforming loan.
Conforming loan, which is good. Yeah, because jumbos, there can be like additional costs to them.
Yeah.
You can take and do. You might have a second appraisal sometimes, depending on the value. When you do jumbo, now it's usually 1.5 million plus area, but yeah, much better to do conforming if you can. So that's kind of an exciting thing.
Yeah, that is exciting. Man, I thought it was high sevens. I swore it was high sevens. I'm living in 2 years ago, I guess.
Yeah, they jump up quite a bit, and I think it has to do with like home appreciation.
Median area cost. But what is the FHA? Because that jumped up earlier this year.
Yeah,
to
525.
525. That's what I thought it was.
But FHA is always weird. Like it's always weird to figure out the FHA because there's the upfront funding fee on an FHA. So technically, if your total loan is the upfront funding fee on an FHA is a fee that gets rolled in. Right? So you can't be like, oh, I'll do a 525 FHA loan. Well, if you're doing 525 plus your upfront funding fee, now you're over 525, which means you get to pay that fee out of pocket.
Interesting.
So you have to do the math to be like, what is it?
Or keep well below it.
Or keep well below it.
Yeah. That's the other option.
Right.
Does in VA, does VA have a limit?
VA gets to be fun because like VA, they can go like $2 million and still do zero down. Yeah.
But they still, at $2 million, they only have a certain amount of entitlement.
Yeah, so a certain amount of entitlement. But yeah, there's a good way to like do like zero down. There's a calculation on it. But yeah, just run it past. And basically, if you want to know what your limit is, just run it past your mortgage broker and be like, hey, what is my
so
my limit?
We're looking forward to some calls.
Yeah, absolutely.
But anyways, I thought this was a great episode.
Yeah.
I had a good time.
Yeah, it was good.
So we'll catch you next time.
Catch you next one.
All right. See you guys later.
See you.